guys, welcome back to another tutorial for ADSR and MassiveSynth.com. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel and you like our tutorials and you want to sign up, you can do that at youtube.com/ADSRtuts. That was a quick demo of the Pluck we'll be making today in Massive. It is a really simple sound, and generally there's only three things really going on. The insert effect is really important for this sound, as well as the effects. Other than that, you can swap out the waveform, the filter type, anything like that, and you'll get similar results. So I'm going to pull up, I have a new instance of Massive already set up. First thing you're going to want to do is in Oscillator 1, you're going to select that the pulse saw, the virtual analog waveform, and you're going to keep all of the knobs, all three of them, for the saw position, pulse width, and amp to the right. And you don't have to do any detune or anything like that. And it is just a one oscillator sound, and we don't even need the white noise for it. So your sound will sound like that at this point. So now I'm going to go to my Insert 1, and Insert 1 I'm going to select the Sample and Hold. So it'll say S and H. This is a really cool plugin, kind of insert effect for Massive. Not a whole lot of change right here. It's just basically taking down the volume. I'm going to turn the pitch up to about 75%, the dry wet, just a hair above halfway. So you won't really notice a change with this until you introduce a filter. So I'm just going to show you a low pass 4 real quick. So there's low pass 4, and then here's scream. So you can hear how they're different. So this S and H will kind of react differently with what the different filter types do, so you can get some crazy cool results. So I'm going to keep the pitch around where it is. I'm going to take the cutoff and boost it just a hair. I'm going to turn the scream down, and I'm going to give it just a little bit of resonance. So it's adding this really cool kind of bit crushed, almost kind of like degraded audio signal, which is kind of an interesting effect. So now that we have the oscillator, the insert effect, and the filters set up, let's go on to our voicing tab. We're going to bump the voices up to 2 and then activate this pan position and give it just a little bit of spread. So we're going to drag this slider back closer to mono so it's not as crazy with its stereo spread. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my envelopes, and in envelope 1, I'm going to take the attack down, the decay, and the level down. And if you guys have watched my tutorials, you see me do this a bunch. I'm going to boost this to about 30, 38. And now if I take this decay up, I just want to add that little bit of a kind of snap and attack to the sound. So I'm just going to pop it in the second box in the Oscillator 1. And now I'm going to go to my second envelope, and we're going to use this shape to kind of control our filter cutoff. So turn the attack down, keep the level all the way up, turn the decay down a good amount. The release I'm going to bump up for this just because I'm playing. I want it to have some sound after I play a key, or a short chord that you'd typically play with a pluck sound. So I'm going to take this level down as well. And we're going to use this, and we're going to drag it into the first box on our filter 1 cutoff and drag this out. So now the sound has that kind of plucky snap to it. And then with envelope 4, which is tied to our amp mod by default, take the attack in all the way, or almost all the way, turn the decay up actually, and then turn this level down as well. So then I'm just going to play the sound and kind of adjust these settings on the fly here. And I'm going to give this a little bit more release to kind of match what we had going on with our second envelope. If you get it set up right, it should almost sound like there is reverb on your sound. So speaking of reverb, that's a good segue into the effects section. So in FX1, I'm going to select the reverb. So I turn the dry wet down, I turn the size up a little bit, the damping all the way, or the density all the way down, and the color up to about 75%, gives it more of a bright kind of reverb tail. And now I'm going to select the delay, the sync delay in FX2. And all you really gotta do is turn the ratio to 3:16 for the right, and then you can turn the dry wet down, and you can kind of mix the rest of it to taste. So I'm going to turn the damp up to about 65-70%. I'm going to turn the feedback up as well, and then I'm just going to turn the dry wet down. So I'm also going to go back to turn the level down on this envelope 1 here, so it's not as lasery sounding. Okay, so now I'm going to activate the EQ module inside of Massive and kind of carve out some unwanted frequencies. So I'm going to take down the low just a little bit and the boost. And then I'm going to boost this frequency knob and then this high shelf here. So just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of that kind of enharmonic richness. So now that we have, that's the bulk of the sound, the last thing we can do is we can go to our 5th LFO here, and you're going to select the triangle waveform, and you're going to, you don't have to sync it, you could if you wanted, of course, and I'm just going to bump this all the way up to the top of the X fade curve, so we're just getting this first triangle wave, and I'm going to use this to modulate and introduce some detune to my only oscillator. I'm going to drag it up to just about 0.30. And if I turn that off, you'll notice a pretty good change to the sound. So maybe around 0.30 to 0.40. If you do too much, it kind of makes a really nasty vibrato effect. And for the vibrato, which is by default my macro, how I have it set up in Massive, I'm just going to bump this macro out a little bit. And then you can control the lead, how much of a lead sound you hear. You can just create a second macro here if you wanted to actually like fade into a next transitional section in a song. If you end up ever using this sound, you can just make this macro here. So that is pretty much the sound, guys. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't checked out MassiveSynth.com, head on over there. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.